Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Limitless Hair Expert, where we combine expert advice and self-improvement together. And today's subject is how your self-concept will empower your appearance. Now think about that. What I'm going to do is reverse this. It's usually do something to your appearance and your self-confidence will build. That is true. But sometimes you got to think this in reverse. And reverse is build your self-concept, and then you'll then also build your self-image, okay? Your appearance. Because your appearance is very well connected to your self-concept. Now, I want to break down what your self-concept is. This is very, very important. Let's look at it simply. Self-concept. It's the concept of yourself. There's three parts to your self-concept. Your one is your ideal self. What you ideally think of yourself. What you ideally think you could become. Now what that means, it means in every subject. What you ideally think you could become in reading, in your profession, in a certain sport, in a certain way you look, okay? So your ideal self is what you ultimately feel you can become. And that should be built up because technically there's no limit to it. That's why these video series or these video episodes are called Limitless Hair Expert. So remember, when you're building your ideal self up, there's no limit and you have to think that way. So that's one of the self-concept. Next part of the self-concept is your self-image. Look in the mirror, your image of yourself. That's the immediate thought of what you think of yourself, your self-image. That also should be upgraded. You should think of yourself as being powerful, as being achievable, of looking good, of feeling good, okay? So it's very, very important to think that way. And one way of doing that is always upgrade your image. And we're talking about hair here, so if you don't like your hair, do something about it. If it's not full enough, add hair. If it's full enough, style it in a certain way. Do your hair in a way that you feel good, because your hair, part of your image, is totally connected to your self-concept. Now, the third part of your self-concept is your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is the core of you. It's how you feel, all right? So your self-esteem is built up from the other two, meaning your ideal self and your self-image. Builds into the self-esteem. Your self-esteem should feel good about yourself all the time. So how do you feel good about yourself? All right? Two ways. You want to approach it in two different directions. You want to reverse it and just build up yourself by thinking good things of yourself, pitching yourself in good ways. And by doing that, that should cause you to take care of yourself, your image. All right? Now you can reverse that if you want and take care of your appearance, and you should. So do them in combination. Talk to yourself. Think of good things. Think that you look and feel good all the time. Think of good things. I have a good technique for you. Whenever you think of something not good, just train yourself. Just say, stop. All right? If you say it real sharp like that, stop. You'll train yourself to stop thinking about negative things, and you'll think about good things. All right? And then start thinking about always how to improve your appearance. Because the more you improve your appearance, the better you feel about yourself. All right? And that's very important. All right? So please keep that in mind. Now, our quote for today is by Brian Tracy. And he says, "It's more important to be effective than it is to be right." I'm going to tell you a little story I heard from Brian Tracy. And this was not actually a quote. It was a statement that he made that I sort of put into a quote. But I want to give him credit for it because I heard it from him, okay? He told this story that when he was very young, he was at a party. And what he did is he seen a group of people in one section of the party. And he walked over to them because we found out they were talking about politics. And he knew a lot about politics. So he walked over there to tell them what about politics, okay? And what he did, he found that everybody in that crowd just evaporated. They all split up. They spread all around. And he realized it didn't matter how much he knew. It didn't matter that he knew politics down cold. What mattered that he wasn't being effective. So that was the lesson that he learned, and that was the lesson that he taught that I got. And that is, always remember, it's more important to be effective than it is to be right. Sometimes you can be right and effective, but sometimes you got to hold back and not be too pushy. So please keep that in mind, okay? And our next video, stay tuned for our next video, and that'll be about why is balance the key to naturalness and flexibility. And I'll see you soon.